Good morning. My name is Leslie Williams and I am in San Diego, California. And I'm making this particular video today in order to be able to prove some factual realities pertaining to what is happening to me. And what is happening to me is becoming very escalated in reference to the methodologies that are being, well, I'll just put it to you this way. This video, actually, sorry. I'm going to backtrack for a second because I gotta verbalize the title of this video. That way I don't have to watch the entire video once it's uploaded in order to see what this particular video subject matter is about. Title this video by the date first, at the beginning of the title, and then Learning Disabled Woman exposes current events at UCSD, gang stalking, ? I'm in San Diego, California, and my name is Leslie Williams. And this is January 28th news segment in reference to some prior events that just recently happened yesterday on UCSD campus in La Jolla, California. Before I get to those particulars, those details, what I'm going to do is show you some audio, okay, in this video, so it can act as a supporting, so it can support my statements. The audio is going to be well, let me just fly right into it. Hold on. Now, in order for you to understand what this audio is about, let me just make this statement. I am a target, victim, and activist concerning the criminal expeditions of what is known as organized stalking. This crime can also be termed as gang stalking. Now, gang stalking, organized stalking, it's not stalking by gangs. You know, like the gangs that you might first think of when you hear the word gang. Gang stalking is nothing but a stalking campaign that is utilized against the targeted individual as a result of the targeted individual being covertly tracked, stalked, and observed in real time at all times. That's right, and they will even hack into a targeted individual's cell phone to use it as a tracker, GPS locator. They will also hack into the video camera, of a target cell phone. Okay. And they will also hack into it, the cell phone, to use it as a microphone. So they can listen to everything that a targeted individual is saying at all times, even when the phone is off. Now, I read a comment on a YouTube video one time pertaining to a targeted individual. He was making a comment on another targeted individual's YouTube video, and he stated that he believed they were using snooper technology on him. So, this is just one of the methods that organized stalking, gang stalking expeditions can utilize in order to be able to observe what the targeted individual is doing at all times in real time and where they're at all times in real time. Let me just give you a brief example, because some people, if you've never heard about how a cell phone can be used for tracking purposes, we live in supposedly a three-dimensional, because I don't know if there's the fourth dimension is time, but anyways, let me just make my point. You have, when you're going in this direction, it's called the X direction, and when you're going in like up or down, that's the Y direction, and then back and forth is the Z direction, X, Y, and Z. If you have a particular individual that is in, like say, a Cartesian coordinate system, which is basically X, Y, and Z, like where I'm sitting at right now, I am sitting upright on a piece of property that is located on a map. So basically what I'm saying is that if this cell phone is being tracked using Cartesian coordinate systems, okay, they can vector this location as a result of the frequency that the phone emits through RF filtering. That's right. Just like when you take your computer anywhere, and like say at Starbucks or whatever, and you decide to use their Wi-Fi services, you're able to hack into the cloud, the Wi-Fi cloud, that is dedicated to that specific geographical location, and therefore your computer, through its RF filtering, will be able to access Starbucks Wi-Fi cloud. And it's basically the same concept. So if I put this phone in my pocket, whether it's on or off, and decided to ride my bike or walk from any location, this phone can be vectored even while it's mobile. using at least Cartesian coordinate systems in order to be able to find out where I'm at in real time, whether I'm stationary and or mobile. Now, a great way to see how they can hack into the targeted individual's cell phone to use it as a microphone, which would be the speaker on the phone, and the camera, which is up here, is to go to YouTube and just type in cell phone hacking and stalking. Okay, now this is just, I decided to just make those remarks to give you a preliminary introduction to show you that it is just using the cell phone, okay, is one of the resources that these expeditions use in order to be able to monitor, surveil, and track a target individual in real time at all times. That's right, in order to listen to them, in order to listen to them, and if they can ascertain any information from the video camera, okay, they will do it, and they can definitely use it as a tracker. So you can also go to YouTube and type in cell phone tracking and stalking. Now, the reason why I brought, and this is just one of the mentioned modalities, the mentioned methods that is all over the internet in reference to the factual reality that organized stalking, gang stalking targets have their cell phones hacked. They also will reroute our phone calls, including even to them, that so the perpetrators can pretend to be the people we're calling. Like if we're calling a lawyer, like say if I look up a lawyer's address and phone number online, cyber surveillance is a covert method of gang stalking expeditions. They would then be able to ascertain that I'm looking up a law firm online, okay, possibly even printing out their website information, which includes their phone number. So they just basically through deduction realize that, well, there's a great likelihood she's going to call. If this phone is hacked, they can reroute the phone call to them, pretend to be the lawyer or law firm. They will, and they will act cordial too as well. They'll play the role. They're called street theaters in gang stalking, where they basically will theatrically play the role, and then ask the target to open up about why they're being called. And then they will then say, well, I'm sorry, we don't take that kind of case. And this is being done to discourage the target that there's nowhere to run to for help. Now, let me just get into the meat and potatoes pertaining to this particular video. So please YouTube and Google everything I described in this video, and extensively and meticulously with a mature posture. Correlate the information together by cross-referencing it, and you will be able to synthesize in your mind a holistic pictorial representation pertaining to how these expeditions work. It's like taking your hands together to do this in order to bring about a desired result. And all the fingers and the hands themselves are the perpetrators, and the fingers are the methods, tactics, maneuvers that are brought about in order to achieve the scheme that is developed, that they want to bring about against the targeted individual. Okay? And as a result, the targeted individual gets hammered, leaving the targeted individual with no legal assistance that is uncorrupted. Okay? And as a result of the isolation the targeted individual is intentionally kept in. All of this can be Googled, so I don't have to get into an in-depth description and the details pertaining to each description. Okay, if I make a description like say that organized stalking or gang stalking targeted individuals are isolated in these expeditions by the perpetrators, and you think to yourself, well, how could that be? If I got into every detail pertaining to every description, I'd never be able to get to the subject matter. So, again, take all my statements and research them, and then cross-reference them to create the whole, to see how we are kept in these expeditions, which is nothing but complete victimization and re-victimization, in order to achieve the original objective pertaining to why the targeted individual was flagged and tagged to be an organized stalking, gang stalking target. Every single one of their motivations that they have for the target is criminal, including human trafficking. Okay? Now, I don't know these people at all. I don't know if I've ever even met one of them, you know, like on the street or at a bus stop or on a university campus. I could go on a university campus today and stand at a bus stop, and one of the main ones who are perpetrating this crime could be standing next to me at the bus stop and I wouldn't even know it. This is the literal example pertaining to how I have no idea who these people are who are intentionally, covertly managing the expedition, but I can identify some of the places that have been used, the police officers that have refused in my face, in my physical presence, on anywhere between now probably anywhere between, I'd say, 15 to 19 separate occasions, have denied my right to make a police report concerning the factual reality that I am a victim of this crime. Okay? So, but who's giving them the orders? And they'll deny it. They'll even call me crazy about it. Because that is a literal method of gang stalking. Gang stalking is not stalking by gangs. Basically, it's nothing but a campaign to make you feel stalked and harassed. That's just one of the aspects of what they do. And it's all brought about as a result of the covert tracking, surveillance, and observation of you, so they can place people around you to gang up on you. This is not stalking by gangs at all. At all. It's organized community-based harassment, which is achieved through the tracking, surveillance, and observation of the targeted individual at all times in real time. Period. Now, as a result, the individuals who I already know for a fact, okay, I know it for a fact that this is organized crime in the system that is perpetrating these criminalities because of the things that I have witnessed by my eyes and my ears in reference to me going down to specific government buildings and being subjected to the organized stalking, gang stalking methodologies by people that literally even worked there behind the counter. And the only way that kind of cooperation, okay, that can be, whoever's managing this obviously approached them or called them and told them to do specific things towards me once I went into that building and into particular offices within that building. The only way that those individuals could have done what they did is that they had a third party or first party, whatever, contact them that's got a power position. I'm talking about inside the Hall of Justice in San Diego County, in San Diego on Broadway Street. Now, I've been gang stalked to several universities, 4 of them in San Diego County alone. Those universities are USD, SDSU, UCSD in La Jolla, and California State San Marcos. One of the main ways that they're letting me know that I'm being gang stalked in order to mentally harass me about it on a daily basis, in order to try and make me feel hopeless, powerless, helpless, and defeated about it. Because one of the main methodologies of organized stalking, gang stalking expeditions is to get up in your head, okay, to anchor associations in your mind, okay, using sensitization techniques, okay, and then whatever they sensitize the target to is then constantly, non-stop, repeated around the target, or everywhere the target goes, non-stop throughout the entire day. Everywhere they go. Everywhere they go. Businesses, universities, public libraries, banks, post offices, restaurants, movie theaters, transportation services. Okay? Anywhere. Anywhere they go. As see, picture it to you this way. Let me put on my shirt, because I got to give you a brief illustration in order to be able to help you understand the evidence that I'm going to show you. Okay? And I sincerely hope and pray that you stay with this video. This is at least going to be a 2 to 3 part video series because of what happened yesterday at UCSD needs to be exposed. And it needs to be exposed before follow-up things happen towards me. Okay? That could happen towards me, that might, and more than likely will. I'm in San Diego, California, La Jolla. My name is Leslie Williams. I am a human being. I am a person. My life matters. The quality of my life matters. Everything that I experience matters. Okay? Just like everything that you experience on a daily basis matters to you and to your loved ones. Now, I already just briefly mentioned to you that sensitization methods, everything can be Googled that I state, are a huge method of gang stalking, organized stalking expeditions. And it is their way to cleverly make the targeted individual feel stalked and harassed, to constantly subject them to this harassment, to put them in a victimized mindset and a re-victimized mindset about it, and then to make them feel helpless, hopeless, powerless, and defeated concerning it. Okay? Now, what I do, okay, is I make videos in order to be able to inform, to expose the truth. Which means that I talk about what's happening to me, I describe it, and then what I try and do is add supporting material showing that these criminalities have been covered on the news. Hold on a second. So what I do is I expose what I experience along my routes on a daily basis, pertaining to the sensitization methods, pertaining to any direct harassment, pertaining to the assaults that I've experienced, pertaining to the possible staged events, which are called street theaters and gang stalking expeditions. Excuse me, because placing people along your route to engage in sensitization methods of organized stalking and gang stalking is not the only thing that happens against the targeted individual. Think about it this way: if you were to go to 4 or 5 places in one day, okay, and you're a victim of this crime, and you know how you're being harassed because you're being subjected to the harassment everywhere you go along all your routes in the same exact identical way, because they want to make you feel like it's basically abuse. Harassment is abuse, okay? And when you combine just the regular sensitization harassment with the combined threats to make you feel like you're going to be assaulted, to the actual then assaults that it can occur on a different day. That's right, and they always want to make sure that you know that everything that's happening to you is because of gang stalking, which I'll prove in this video. Okay, the whole goal for them is to try and literally cause you to mentally collapse, emotionally collapse, financially collapse, and physiologically collapse. Now, I'm even being gang stalked at this particular hiking area where I live at. I'm not afraid to mention on any of my videos, I don't give 2 craps who sees it in reference to a judge, a prosecutor, a district attorney's office member, or anybody. Because I am literally going to take the fear away that they try to perpetrate in an anchor in my mind that they harass me at this hiking area by putting people up on the sidewalk from where I'm at, and as they ride by they'll say, "Gang stalker, why don't you come and steal her stuff?" Or "Gang stalker, why don't you call the cop center?" And I will prove it in this video undisputably. So, when I'm exposing, say, because this particular video is going to be about UCSD and the bullshit that I'm experiencing on their campus, what I need to be able to do then is to counter-react with the methods that are being brought about against me overtly, that are designed to anchor fear. Okay, because they basically want to have they want you to have a mental reaction about what they're saying. Getting up on the sidewalk and saying, "Gang stalker, why don't you come and steal her stuff?" or "Gang stalker, why don't you call the cops on her?" Both are threats, while they're making sure that that I know that what I'm hearing is because of gang stalking. Okay, that's right, because they form associations in your mind in order to anchor fear, and then to let you purposely know that the fear is happening because of gang stalking. Literally. So what I do is tell the truth. What they'll do is say, "Do you see how mentally ill Leslie is? Now she believes people are up on the sidewalk saying, 'Gang stalker, why don't you come and steal her stuff?' or 'Gang stalker, why don't you call the cops on her?'" The intention for them is the technique is called dark neurolinguistic programming, okay? Using the direct conversation method, where they basically will anchor something that's got a negative meaning, dark, okay, by saying the threat, neurolinguistic programming. Okay, so it's a threat that they want the target to hear in order to program the target's thinking based on the response that the target has based on the threat they hear. Dark neurolinguistic programming. That technique can be YouTubed and Googled, and it's delivered through the direct conversation method, where they'll basically make sure that they'll act like they're having a conversation as they go by on their bike, as they're jogging, walking, whatever. Okay, and then what it's basically, this method is basically where they get around you and act like they're just talking, and then what they say is designed for you to hear in order to anchor the fear. Hold on a second. Now, what I'm doing is making this particular video in order to be able to not only expose the methodologies they use, let me bring this video camera closer to me. Hold on a second. The purpose of the reason why I'm making this video is to not only expose the methodologies that they bring about against me, but to expose the lies and the deceit and the secrecy that protects it, and how they will even call a targeted individuals crazy when they expose the factual realities of what is actually happening to them. Okay? Now, let me go ahead and start getting into the meat and potatoes, and then what I'm going to do right now, since I got there's some landscape workers off a hill using a chainsaw to do something. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm literally going to show you that I'm going to start giving you right now, literally showing you right now some supporting materials so you can literally see that what I'm telling you is the truth. If you stay with this video, you will literally hear the proof. Hold on a second. This right here is the audio of a YouTube video that you can listen to for yourself if you go to YouTube and type in gang stalking bullying on steroids. Okay? Now, I went to YouTube and I connected my headphones to the computer and I brought this video up, and basically what it is, it's a YouTube video of a news broadcast of an organized stalking, gang stalking target being covered on the news. So what I basically did was I took my tape recorder and shoved it into some earphones that I got in order to be able to transfer the audio of that news broadcast. And I did that so when I make my videos, I can show supporting material that will show to my viewers that this criminality has been covered on the news. Okay, and this right here is the audio of that video. Okay, here it is right here. Just pay close attention to how this news broadcaster, okay, states what gang stalking is and some of the things that can happen to a targeted individual. And then listen to the targeted individual who's being covered on the news pertaining to everything they're doing to him along his routes and even at his home.
This story on our website, kcba.com. Due to not police call it bullying on steroids. We're talking about gang stalking, but it actually has nothing to do with the gangs that you first think of. Southern Coast News reporter Candace Wynn learned more about the trend and how it's getting more dangerous because of the internet. It makes me so afraid.
Lawrence Gazino claims his neighbors are gang stalking him because he plays loud music late at night and is outspoken. He said for the last year and a half he's been systematically followed by a group of people. At one point he said they climbed on his roof to harass him. Gazino said he's developed a paranoia that's devastated his relationships with friends and, worst of all, family.
That's the worst part of it. If it was me, I would take action.
Santa Cruz Police Lieutenant Larry Richards said police are becoming more aware of gang stalking because of cyberbullying. But what is gang stalking? Basically, the victims could be driving their car or talking on their phones or walking the streets when a group of people try to systematically terrorize them. Richards said gang stalking is nothing new, but new technology is making it more common.
Gang stalking itself, they have elevated themselves to technology. So this is something that's been going on before the age of Facebook, Twitter, those other social websites. They just now have gone into those areas.
Gazino said he's proof that the problem isn't just online and that it can hit too close to home, a home he plans on leaving because of gang stalking.
I want to be able to go to the tennis courts and play tennis or play ping pong without people following us everywhere. It's just nerve-wracking.
I'm Candace Wynn in Salinas, your Central Coast News.
If found guilty of gang stalking, the person may face criminal, conspiracy, and stalking charges, all of which are felony charges in California.
Okay, now you heard this news reporter state from the audio of this news reporter of them covering this particular targeted individual on the news. And this targeted individual is being gang stalked in Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz County is right next door to San Diego County. Okay, now you heard the news reporter state that the target could be the target of the crime could be driving their car, talking on their cell phone, or walking the street when a group of people will attempt to systematically terrorize them. Now I want you to listen close to this particular audio file right here alone. okay, proves to you that I am a target of this crime. Now, before I play the audio of it, let me just show you something. Let me just give you some details. I'm sorry. And I want you to listen closely to these dates pertaining to the date of this event and pertaining to the date of this email, which I'll show you once I show you the email. This event that you're about ready to hear happened on Thanksgiving Day, which was 2 months ago today. 2 months ago today. Today's date is January 28th, 2014. Thanksgiving is on November 28th, 2013. It took place on a sidewalk. Now, this event happened 8 days after I told a UCSD campus police officer that individuals are getting around me on their campus every time I go on their campus and constantly getting around me and repeating gang stalk, gang stalk, gang stalker, gang stalking, gang stalk, oh my god, weird, crazy, in that way every time I come on their campus. And I told him that it's being caught on tape recorder, and I also told him that I even predicted before I arrive on campus that it will be set around me before I get there, which will show stalking from one location to the UCSD campus in order to place the people around me to say it. Now, these are the sensitization methods that I've already aforementioned. Basically, sensitization, just to give you a brief synopsis pertaining to what it is and why it's being used in organized stalking, gang stalking, harassment. And organized stalking and gang stalking is nothing but, well, no, actually it's more than, but a great section of it is community-based harassment, where huge amounts of community members on a daily basis are lied to by the perpetrators about the target. They will do anything from even creating what is known as a fake, bogus criminal investigation file, combine it with a real badge or a fake one, and then solicit people anywhere that they can, including even standing outside of a market, to get people to do things for them in specific ways against the targeted individual. Now, some of them don't even know that other ones are being used even at a same bus stop. But each one of them are told to do the same thing for the target to either see and or hear. See, which means have them repeat certain physical gestures that they've already mentally associated in the target's mind to be directly connected to gang stalking. Basically what they do is make sure they will anchor an associations in a target's mind to certain physical gestures, words, phrases, statements, repeated phrases, repeated words, and make sure that the target individual knows through the mental association that these things are being repeated because of gang stalking. And you're literally going to hear it within a second. I mean, undisputably within a second. Okay? Now, and then basically what the manager of this expedition, who's perpetrating it, will place people along the target individual's route as a result of the tracking, observation, and stalking of the target. So then these people will repeat what the target has been sensitized to. That in turn lets the target overtly, intentionally know it's deliberately happening, while it makes them feel stalked. Now, in order to form these mental associations, the target individual, they got to make sure that the target individual knows that these associations are because of gang stalking, or because a certain event is happening because of gang stalking. That's why they've been getting around me and saying gang stalk, gang stalker, gang stalking, gang stalk, oh my god, gang stalk, gang stalk, gang stalk, gang stalker, gang stalking, gang stalk, gang stalk, oh my god, weird, crazy. In that way, repetitively and non-stop. In the same exact identical way, everywhere I go, period. Now that's done to intensely compete for my mental attention as a result of me hearing it non-stop. For 2 years, I got over 800 separate audio files, at least, of the same exact identical harassment happening around me everywhere, including in the Hall of Justice, downtown San Diego, including inside the San Diego Police Department headquarters, including inside of the San Diego City Council meeting chambers on August 24th, 2013, the day Filner resigned. That's right. Including all over SDSU campus, all over USD campus, all over UCSD campus, and on California State San Marcos University campus when I went out there for the first and only time on January 30th, 2013. I went out there one time. California State San Marcos is miles and miles and miles and miles away from La Jolla, California. And when you see what I show you in this video, you'll literally even see it being said around me when I went to Yucca Valley, which is 167 miles away from La Jolla, California. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. If any UCSD idiots are watching this video or their lawyers, good luck. Because, you know, before I show you this evidence, let me just tell you something about organized stalking and gang stalking. These campaigns are directly managed and perpetrated by individuals in the system at every level. At every level. They not only use the system to perpetrate these criminalities, they use them to protect. They use the system to protect them. They also use the same system to protect the places they use for the harassment: public libraries, university campuses, businesses. So these individuals will make sure that the people they used and the places they use stay protected. And the only way that they can do that is by continuing to nullify the target and break the rest of their lives down. The homelessness I'm living in right now was directly connected to gang stalking. They literally stole my rent out of the mail, rent that was mailed, certified mail, return receipt, and I can prove it. In fact, it was even predicted in notaries, which I still have in my possession. Literally. Okay? Now, so what they'll basically do, okay, one of the main methodologies of gang stalking is to try to imply, insinuate, and even document that the targeted individual is mentally ill, or delusional, or paranoid schizophrenic, or paranoid or schizoaffective disorder. Anything that they can do to make it appear that the target's crazy, out of their mind, even a threat to themselves or others, or sorry, that motorcycle, and or can't take care of themselves because they're homeless while they're claiming people are stalking them. Okay? Because that methodology, those combined methodologies right there that I just mentioned, are part of the way that they attempt to get syndicated probate control of the target to co-opt their finances: racketeering, insurance fraud, and human trafficking, which is attached to the original motivation why the target was picked. So they got to cover their ass, their tracks, okay, and the peoples and places and services used to aid and abet in the breaking down of the target. That's right. That's right, because when a target breaks down from all of the things that are happening to them, the homelessness, the physical destitution, okay, the assaults, which mentally break you down and physically break you down, the way they go after your finances, okay, and they go after your finances like you would not believe, okay, all these things that are brought about against you are done to break you, to cause you to have a mental collapse, so you'll call 911. And this is where, in part, some of the documentation starts that they use to take the syndicated probate control, and the staged events that happen against the targeted individual along their route produce falsified police reports and incident reports. And this accumulated documentation is combined to attempt to take the syndicated probate control for the exploitation and the cover-up of the same. Okay? Now, do you honestly think for one second that any university campus that I'm being gang stalked at will tell the truth? Do you really believe they'll tell the truth? I strongly suggest you in-depthly research what happened pertaining to Penn State and Jerry Sandusky. Or you can go to Google and type in Laura Dickerson, Eastern University in Michigan, how they covered up her brutal rape and murder to protect the image of the university. And once they couldn't do that, they played a shell game and tried to excuse that it didn't get out, or the right information didn't get out because of interdepartmental miscommunication. How they cleverly and just how astutely they try to make it appear that it's anything else but a cover-up. And if you don't believe me, understand this. I was literally standing 2 feet away from Laura Dickerson's parents when that court case was going on in Ann Arbor, Michigan, because I was mad as hell about it. It is my intention to prove the criminalities that I expose, which I'm going to do right now. On November 20th, 2013, I walked up to a UCSD campus police officer, and I told him that every single time I go on their campus, that individuals get around me and stand around me or walk around me and will say gang stalk, or gang stalker, or gang stalking, or they'll work in a tag team of cooperation where one will say gang stalker and then another one in the background will say, oh my God. Okay? That's when the one says gang stalker, that's the cue for the other one to say, oh my God. And basically what they're doing is competing for my attention, to remind me that I'm a target of this crime, to play mental ping pong in order to produce mental responses, emotional responses, and the body even reacts to it. Okay, it's basically nothing but mental torture. If you really knew the depths that these people go to, because again, just the sensitization methods are not the only thing that are being brought about against us. So on November 20th, 2013, this UCSD campus police officer was being tape recorded, and I've already uploaded that video. I've already uploaded the audio to a video, and then I've already uploaded the video. Hang on a second. Excuse me. On November 20th. Alright, now this is where I'm going to get to the meat and potatoes. On November 20th, 2013, I was on UCSD campus. I walked up to a UCSD campus police officer, and I told him, look, this is what I'm doing, and everything I was doing was legal. What I do is I try to prove that I'm being gang stalked on your campus. You know, I'm going to make a general statement about what I said to him. Okay? I'm not going to add anything to it, and I don't think I'll be leaving anything out of it. I walked up to him and I said, look, I go, what I do is before I come on your campus is I predict in a tape recorder and I basically just told him I predict it, but what I do is predict it in a tape recorder and in a video file that once I get to UCSD, let's see if gang stalker, oh my god, weird, crazy, gang stalk is set along any of my routes today on UCSD campus or anywhere else I go. I then go to UCSD campus and it was caught hundreds of times on top of hundreds of times. Everywhere I went on their campus all day long. Everywhere. Price Center, Club Med Restaurant. I think it's been caught inside the biomedical library. I know that it's on tape recorders, but it's just in the library. It was set at such a low volume. It's hard to clearly, it's not hard to clearly distinguish that it was being said, but it's just hard to, if I could get a forensic, if I could get a person who engages in audio, if I could get an audio forensic technician to look at the tape recording audio files, I have no doubt in my mind that he would conclude that it's being said, because it was. It's being said right around me, but I was in a library, so what they were doing in the biomedical library and in the Geisel library, since it's the library, they walked by me and said it at a very low tone, just loud enough for me to hear, but harder for the tape recorder to pick it up. Okay? Now, I have no reason to lie, because I got so much evidence right now, I can sue the hell out of UCSD campus, but I guess it wouldn't matter anyways, because they would probably pipeline the case before a syndicated judge. This is organized crime in the system. Now, let me get to the meat and potatoes. November 20th, 2013, I walked up to a UCSD campus police officer. I told him before I come on campus that I make a prediction that gang stalker, oh my god, weird and crazy, is going to be said on their campus today once I get there. And then I told him that it's caught on audio file every single time that I go there. And I told him that that's all I'm trying to do is prove this crime is happening to me. Okay? And he said, well, okay, that's fine. Okay? Now, once I left his presence, I went into the Geisel library, minding my own business. And then this is right when I first started going back into UCSD libraries, because an event occurred in November of 2012, and they banned me for a year. Okay, that's what this video and the second and third is about. I'm not going to let this slide, no matter what it takes. Understand, I know these perpetrators are watching my videos, because cyber surveillance is a method of gang stalking, and you literally just heard gang stalking bullying on steroids states that they've reached out into the cyber world. So basically what I'm trying to say is that they banned me for a year in November 2012, okay, by stating that I was taking video pictures in the biomedical library after I was warned not to. Even though I was being gang stalked in that library like you would not believe. Okay? But gang stalking is extremely hard to prove. Okay? In some environments it's very hard to prove, because they want to make sure that in a library it's already quiet. So you can't really catch gang stalk being set around you right out in the open like I would catch it in other environments, which I have, which I'm getting ready to show you. In fact, let me just show it to you. Let me just hold on one second. This event occurred 8 days after I talked to that UCSD campus police officer on a sidewalk right up the street from UCSD. Do you hear these guys say gang stalk, gang stalker, and gang is stalking, I'm going to F you up? No, what they say is they say gang stalk together. Then the one says gang stalking. Then that same one says gang is stalking, I'm going to F you up. Just listen. Alright, now to show you that, to give you something so that you can, so you can compare the actual words being said, that's what they were saying. Let me just go back to the audio of the reporter saying gang stalking when they were covering it on the news. Okay, now you just heard it being repetitively said because I transferred it to my phone from the tape recorder from the day the event occurred. In that way, so it can be reinforced in your mind that that's what they were saying, because that's what they do to me, in order to anchor it in your short-term memory, so when I expose it, you'll be able to hear it over and over and over again, so the phonics of the words can even be anchored in your mind, so you can then compare it to this. These news reporters saying gang stalk and gang stalking.
This story on our website, KCBA.com. Tonight, police call it bullying on steroids. We're talking about gang stalking, but it actually has nothing to do with the gangs that you first think of. Southern Coast News reporter Candace Lynn learned more about the trend and how it's getting more dangerous because of the internet. It makes me so afraid.
Lawrence Gavino claims his neighbors are gang stalking him because he plays loud music late at night and is outspoken. He said for the last year and a half he's been systematically followed by a group of people. At one point he said they climbed on his roof to harass him. Gavino said he's developed a paranoia that's devastated his relationships with friends and, worst of all, family.
That's the worst part of it. If it was me, I would take action.
Santa Cruz Police Lieutenant Larry Richards said police are becoming more aware of gang stalking because of cyberbullying. But what is gang stalking? Basically, the victims could be driving their car or talking on their phones or walking the streets when a group of people try to systematically terrorize them. Richards said,
Okay? I was riding my bike on the street on Thanksgiving Day when this event occurred. In fact, they kept blocking my ability to go forward, so I had to get off the bike. That's why you hear me saying I'm standing right here. And one of the individuals that played a role in this event has harassed me on anywhere between 8 and 11 separate occasions, right up the street from UCSD. 8 days after I told a UCSD police officer that they were getting around me on their campus and saying gang stalk, gang stalker, gang stalking. Oh my God, weird, crazy. And just listen. I was walking down the street, riding my bike, and then had to get off it on the street when this happened. Now, what I'm going to do, this is either a 2 or a 3-part video series. Now, let me help you understand something, ladies and gentlemen. I hope and pray that you guys might be able to viral this video, or because I'm learning disabled. I'm a good woman. I'm not involved in any illegal or criminal activity whatsoever. I do not know any of these people who are managing this expedition, or any of the people who are being used to overtly harass me, or any of the individuals who are being used to complain about me or accuse me of things along my routes. Those are, when they do that, those are called staged events. And the technique is called street theaters and gang stalking, where they will literally place a person around you to accuse you of something and then have that person call the police. And when they do that, they'll even stage the witnesses. This is where they possibly work within a cooperating relationship with the police in order to bring about a desired result based on the fact that the event is being brought about. Basically, the event is where they frame the situation to frame the result. Now, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm getting ready to make the second video. See, I'm a little anxious right now because I got so much proof to show you. It's just astronomical. Where do you see that? Where do you see the rest of this proof? It's just astronomical. This right here is an audio of me being on a bus when I left this location on December 6, 2012 to go to Yucca Valley. I was there for 1 full week. I arrived back at this location on December 13, 2012. I was there 1 week. That's right. Gang stalk, oh my god, gang stalk, gang stalker, gang stalking was said along every single one of my routes when I went out there. 167 miles away from San Diego County, where it's been caught on over 800 audio files of it being said that way everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. Now you're about ready to hear it. This is the video of me being on the Yucca Valley Landers bus route on December 11th. Let me just show it to you real fast. Okay. This is the phone right here. Okay. Now do you see the camera on this phone? The camera feature? I'm going to click on it right now. Okay. Now I'm going to go down to the camera album, which shows you an album of all the videos. Okay. It's loading. And now I'm going to go to where it says Yucca Valley Gang Stalking. Right there. Oh, wait a minute. Is that it? Nope, that's not it. There it is. Yucca Valley Gang Stalking. It's highlighted. Whenever you have the video selected that you want to watch, it's highlighted in red. Like right now, I'm going to press the arrow key to go to the middle one. Watch how the middle one becomes highlighted in red. See? And then the right one, highlighted in red. Going back to... Now, these are actually 2 or 3 videos pertaining to Yucca Valley, but you can see they're worded a little bit differently. This one says Yucca Valley Gang Stalking. Okay, now anytime you got a selected video file highlighted, and whenever you have a video that's highlighted, that means it's selected. As a result of it being currently selected, you can then press the options feature, which you can see is right there. And then when you press the option feature, once you had the video selected and highlighted, that enables you to be able to look at file information pertaining to that video. Okay? Now let me just hit on options real fast. And then you can see the options came up. And then there's a feature called file information pertaining to the selected highlighted video. You press that, and then that will give you the file information pertaining to the highlighted video. Shows it right there, December 11th, 2012. Okay? December 11th, 2012. Now, let me just let's show you something. You see how it's still highlighted? Yucca Valley gang stalk. Okay? And I just showed you the final information pertaining to when this video was caught. Now, what did I just show you from this phone? An event that occurred on Thanksgiving Day. Now, the event wasn't caught on the phone. It was caught on a digital tape recorder and a microcard. And I've already uploaded the proof concerning that, pertaining to showing the date. I've done it already. Okay? And, so you just heard gang stalk and gang stalking and gang stalking. I'm going to F you up. And then once it was caught, once the event transpired on Thanksgiving Day and it was caught on the tape recorder, what I did was I transferred the important part of that event that was caught on the tape recorder to the phone. Okay? That event occurred on Thanksgiving Day, 2013. This event occurred on the Yucca Valley bus on December 11th, 2012, a year before. Okay, and you're about ready to hear it. See, December 11, 2012 at 5:05 p.m. You're about ready to hear it, and what you're about ready to hear is this. You're going to hear men say gang stalk, and I want you to listen to how many people are saying, oh my God, after gang stalk is said or before it. And then you're going to hear a woman flat out say it, gang stalking. Okay, I'm going to put the video, I got to put the camera back down. Okay. So what I'm going to do right now is literally show you that the video is still highlighted in red, and then I'm going to press play, and then it's going to say, do you want to play with sound? Of course I do. And then I'm going to take the camera, because the the audio of the video comes out here, so I got to put it up next to the camera microphone. I'm going to do that right now. Listen to what I stated. You got to listen for.
Oh, look at that car right there. It's so cute. To the left, it just turned. No. Those little French cars. No. Cheese. You for the child? Yeah. Okay. Hopefully I got my quick only try. Take the whole thing. This person is the roughest one holding. She looks like a little She never tried. I'm going to go hang it up in my, she's already talking. I'm going to take my American flag out there, a little tiny flag. Take it out. I'm going to hang it in the window and I'm going to put it on. I wish I did these things right. Oh, yeah. When they look at Rich, oh, yeah, that might work.
Now, why did I show you these two events? First, I explained to you what it meant, in order for you to be able to see that these things are being said around me intentionally, and why. Because it's a methodology of gang stalking. In order to let you know you're being gang stalked by repeating words, phrases, and specific physical gestures along all your routes every single day, everywhere you go, for you to either see and or hear. Now, I showed you the dates of these events. The Yucca Valley event occurred on December 11th, 2012. Write down the dates. The Thanksgiving event occurred in La Jolla, California, on a sidewalk on Thanksgiving Day, 2013, a year apart. Okay? Well, 11 months apart. Okay? Now, let me show you the date of this email. And then this email is going to be discussed in the second video I'm about ready to make, and I'm not going to make it until after these landscape workers disappear. I'm going to lay the email down, and then I'm going to show it to you. Do you see the date on this email? Thursday, November 1st, 2012. Before I left to go to Yucca Valley. Okay? And look at the title on the email. Okay, you can see it's the same email, because I'm showing it to you. This email was sent from UCSD on November 1st, 2012. Okay? Around 12 days before they banned me for a year. Okay? From the libraries. I already forementioned that. It's stated in here, I, Leslie Williams, am writing this email file because as a direct result of being subject to organized stalking tactics along all my routes, I experience in part a tactic known as the direct conversation. Okay? Let me just get to the meat and potatoes, because I got to stop at this particular video and start the next one. But you can see it's the same email. Now listen, now pay attention to what I've already described, how they get along all my routes and say gang stalker. Look at the date on this. Not only the date it was made and sent, but also the date it was printed. Okay? Same exact email, November 1st, 2012. Okay? at 2:28 p.m. It says this email was sent from UCSD on 11/01/2012. It says it right up there at the top as well. It's a Gmail file. Print it out. At the very beginning of the email is my name, Leslie Williams. Leslie Williams. Organized stalking is mentioned in practically the first sentence. Then let's scroll down here a little bit to where it says this method is utilized towards me using different or same comments and or words or phrases, okay, that are intentionally mentioned around me at different locations repeatedly. At these different locations, I have caught gang stalker being mentioned around me at over 15 locations on over 200 occasions. 15 locations, 200 occasions on digital audio file. Okay? Now, this email has been printed and scanned, and it is now a PDF link. Okay? And it has been put in a PDF link that also holds the letter that UCSD gave me telling me that I was banned for a year. That occurred about 10 days, 11 days after this was sent to myself. It was my way to isolate that these methods were being utilized around me. Okay? And I got over 800 audio files that have been caught of the method that was said in this email since this email was made. Hundreds of times on UCSD campus. Caught in the same exact way. Caught on their campus within the entire year from November 2012 up to this date, January 28, 2014. I'm going to start a new video file because of the noise that's going on in the background. Make sure you look in the description of this YouTube video. Okay? For the second video, I'm going to make 2 more. Alright, thank you, because those videos are going to have undisputable proof, additional proof. You would not believe what is happening to me. You just would not believe it. Okay? And I'm predicting right now they're going to ban me from UCSD libraries and or their campus. I'm predicting it right now because of the event that happened yesterday. So look in the description of this YouTube video for YouTube titles, because this is at least a 3-part video series. Please look at them. I do appreciate you listening, and have a nice day.